Google is going to take us live. Any second now. Google has taken us live. It's the AV Community Talk. We have Joao, we have Michael, we have Sam. Yeah, let's do that thing that we sometimes do at the beginning. I just love doing it in meetings. I just love writing things down. I love writing down what we care about, and it just helps me concentrate. Maybe nobody else, but anyway. So I guess the things on my mind were that we have the this JetBrains malarkey going on. They've changed the terms and conditions, so this affects particularly like premium member access to JetBrains. So that's one thing to talk about. Joao, anything on your mind? You're muted and talk. That's good. I can tell. I know what will be on your mind is, you know, number of folks attending. I know that it's an ongoing chagrin for you that you feel like, you know, the people should be. I sense shades of Thomas often felt the same way. Like, if people are committed to Agile Ventures, then they should come, and they should come to the community meetings and so on. I agree. It would be absolutely lovely if a lot more people did come to the community meeting. I also sympathize. For example, I just had, you know, one new person, and I had Ben and Nico in the Website One meeting, and having just done a 1 hour meeting, then they're all people interested in coding. I guess they're not. I can certainly see how they'd be like, oh, whew, right, time for a break. You know, I'm a crazy person who does all these meetings back to back, but like for normal people, you know, it's like, you know, people are fitting like their volunteer time in, and they do it on the coding, and then like it's like we're asking them do an extra hangout to have meta chat, and I can, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that we don't get so many people, if you know what I mean.
Totally get that. Yeah, it's not really just the AV community. Well, we can talk about that. I had something. I didn't have time to look at last week's AV community, so I'm not sure like what's with the non-profit status on the US.
Oh yeah,
did you talk about that last week?
We did. Yeah, go
on. So I just wanna. If you need, I'll just look at the video from last week.
I put some stuff in the notes from last week, so if you scroll back up.
Okay. I'll do that. So don't need to talk about that. And yeah, this week I don't have much.
Yeah, and I know that it's not just folks attending the community meeting. I think you're also you like general numbers involved in AV, particularly MetPlus. On that note, Tong Wei's expressing interest in, you know, doing more AV stuff again. She involved at MetPlus, so
I saw your comment there.
Good show. Michael, anything on your mind in terms of AV community?
I wanted to ask about the status of that paid project.
Oh, yeah.
Well, French sailing thing.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, let's even start. We can start there. Yeah. So I spoke with the client this morning actually, and they are, you know, pretty happy with the prototype, and they want to, you know, they're saying yes, we want to do the full thing. I've done a full like pivotal. Do I have it? I'm going to find it. They've done a full pivotal tracker and updated it based on what we learned from the design sprint. And I did the new costings based on this. And they agreed in principle with the costings that I gave them. And we're talking about a staged payment framework. And they are saying that they will potentially make the first deposit payment on development by the end of the week. So, I mean, they need to do a further review of the thing here. I think they want to add more things, this and the other. I was at pains this morning to kind of take them through the whole agile process, and you know how, like, yeah, you know, if you come up with new things and more stuff that you want, as you know, because you'll be continuously being, you know, have new versions of the software delivered to you, you can try out, but you know, you'll pay for a certain effectively number of points which can be delivered in a certain time if you want this big extra thing put in here, we can add it in earlier on. It will push the time and the cost further off. So and I think, I mean, there is a slight communication barrier. The client's a native French speaker. Their English is pretty good. I of course speak incredibly fast and mumble and terrible. It's awful. Gosh, I don't know how anybody copes with me really. But so yeah, potentially it will kick off. They're keen to get started. I put this like 19th of March date. They seem to be keen to start as early as next week. And if they make that deposit payment, then it will kick off next week. I've had so many situations where people talking, and then not actually paying. So I think the mood music is great. We will see if they actually make that first deposit installment.
Parlez-vous français?
No. Je m'appelle Sam. I'm doing Duolingo at the moment. I'm practicing I'm trying to get better at French. My children speak better French than me at the moment. But we're going to France for a holiday in about 4 weeks. So I'm going to try and. I'd love to be able to speak French. Anyway, obviously that's not really realistic to come up. Oh, we'll see. Duolingo, they promise. It says I'm 21% fluent in French now. So I don't know that I really believe that.
Mean?
I think it means that it's like I've covered 21% of the content that they have available in their app. Which anyway. There we go. So,
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Which apparently French people don't say. That's one of those strange ones. I did do 5 years of French in school. I can say le pomme de terre est sur la table, which means the potato is under the table or on the table. I can never remember which way. But anyway, you learn amazing stuff in British schools about how to speak French. It's completely useless for communication. Anyway, but yeah, so this could be a very exciting project. React Native mobile apps. If
you're gonna have to get it in the App Store and stuff too. Like, have you talked? What platforms are they targeting?
Yeah, they want cross-platform, so they want it in the App Store and the Play Store. They want it to be,
not the Windows Store, because nobody cares about that, right?
There's a Windows Store.
Much to Microsoft's chagrin.
What they're also particularly keen to do is, rather than have it as a paid app, they want to do a subscription framework, and so you get access to the. So that makes it all a bit more complicated. I mean, they're doing that because they don't like, the overheads on the App Store and the Play Store. So there's a lot. I mean, they've got really big vision for this, and to do everything that they want is actually going to cost them a lot of money. And so I'm trying to make them clear that,
So in the apps, so basically, someone would download it for free, quote unquote.
Yes.
And register an account, and then pay like through an API or something. Essentially,
they would pay on a website. To register and like a subscription thing, like they do for Agile Ventures. And
so there's going to be a separate website.
Yes.
Not in the app, because we're trying to evade paying Apple.
Right.
Huh. I wonder what Apple thinks of that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Apple doesn't support subscription payments, does it? Within the apps.
They do. I mean, it's like an in-purchase, right?
Right, but then they don't have recurring ones. You can't like buy a subscription through the App Store.
Maybe not.
So
Maybe
yeah. I mean, it's the kind of.
I know there was some patent troll that was suing everyone that used in purchase, because they claim that they came up with the idea of selling things through an app,
right?
Which is extremely novel, and somehow that got patented in the U.S. And
yeah.
But I think somebody defeated them in court.
Yeah, I think it's, that there's the company is clearly serious. They are committed to the open source. For us, they paid, for the full design sprint. I am waiting for the second half of the payment for the design sprint. I think they've got the money. They're serious. I think that there's a lot of, their vision is big. There's a lot of difficult things that have to be worked out if their vision is going to be realized, and this and another. And I'm trying to.
So did you cost the payment framework too?
No.
Like back end. Oh, that's separate.
That's separate. That's something that I just had that explained to me in its full detail this morning, and so that's something that they want to.
Did you tell them it will cost more?
I did. I mean, this is what I'm at absolute pains to explain is, we have to get clear about what it is that's being built. And then naturally you'll have other things that you want, and you'll have this and that and whatever. You can't change the specification to include new features without incurring a financial and temporal cost on that. And it's then we can decide not to build this and build this other bit instead. Yeah. So I mean, I think that has to be the successful foundation, or that has to be the foundation of success going forward, is to understand that. So we will come back around, and fingers crossed that there would be a big coup for Agile Ventures to land this full development project, and we'd be able to do it all in the open with open source and share it with everybody. So good stuff. Yeah. All right.
How is this project gonna work? Is it gonna be? Is it going to be like whoever wants to be part of it just is part of it?
Well, it's going
to be like members only. Are we going?
Well, it's premium members. So we do have the frame. One other thing, as a premium member, you then one of the benefits of premium membership is being eligible to work on paid projects. What I've also tried to make clear is, of course, it's not just anybody can work on it. The project manager will then, from the pool of people who are premium members, can say who is eligible, who will actually work on the project. So we have separate, like we have a paid projects channel that all the premium members are in, where I've announced this, and people who expressed interest in it were added to. We have a private My Noteboat project specifically for this, and some premium members took part in the design sprint, and those people are clearly, by having sort of volunteered for the design sprint and got involved in it, are well placed in their understanding, and they're already set up with the tech stack and so on. But there are other people who are very keen to get involved, and my plan is to make these stories, you get that there'll be like a price tag associated with a story. So then if you can deliver on a story as a premium member, then you can get paid that amount for delivering on the story. Go on, Michael.
Can you, this is probably an odd question, but can you, as a premium member, just work on something like non-committally and do it even if you don't care to get paid for it per se?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to work on it and not take the money and leave that in the Agile Ventures charity kitty for our ongoing existence, then totally you can do that. I think what we will be doing with the sprints is, with this, we'll be working to quite a tight deadline. So if you start working on something, it's a commitment to finishing that within the sprint. And if one doesn't, we've got, like, unlike,
you got to make up for it.
Yeah, I mean, part of what I'm working out with all of the content is the bottom line is, if we take this on as a commitment, that to me is a commitment from me personally to the client that this will get done. And so in any case where a premium member is unable to commit, I mean, hopefully in the first instance, unable to deliver, another premium member can come along and take the slack. But ultimately, if stuff is not getting done, I will do it in order to make sure that we deliver it on time. But I'd very much like to distribute this, because I've got a lot of things to do. I'd like to distribute this over as many people who want to get involved. But we've also got to be careful about, this is like it's React Native, is a different tech stack, as all the things. We probably can't really afford to bring members into this if they're not going to be able to deliver value. Do you know what I mean? And that's got to be a judgment call for me as a project manager. I can't have, like let's say we've got 20 stories. I can't have 20 different people all working on those stories independently, and like 70% of them struggling to set up the development environment. I mean, it's going to have to be our more competent. Sorry?
Do you think I would be able to deliver value?
I think, but yourself, I mean, I think, yeah, you're definitely in a position to deliver value, Michael. But you're quite an experienced programmer by comparison with some of our members. And people have different.
Not experienced enough, right?
Well, I think you're very good at problem solving. I've seen you extremely good at problem solving in Rails, in R, in Python. I know you've done some React as well. I mean, it's not so much necessarily on familiarity with React Native. It's more in terms of problem solving skills and like ability to overcome blocks and so on. That's kind of, I don't know if it's the same for you, Joao, but I think that's people who are kind of good at solving problems generally tend to be able to do that in whichever language they're working in.
Yeah.
Language is just a framework for you to do things, and it doesn't really matter which language you know. If you know how to develop, you should be able to develop in any language. There's always a ramp-up time, because that's normal. It's a new language, but all the thought processes behind that are there. Okay, so okay.
Yeah,
I think you answered my question. Yeah,
good stuff. Yeah, and it'll be interesting. I mean, it's an exciting time. I mean, maybe this can be a model for other things going forwards. If we can deliver a nice, crisp app here, we'll see. It could lead to more things. We never know. Only other thing, I got to go like in the 3 minutes. I'll just mention this JetBrains thing. So they've swapped. I think we've had a good long. They've been giving us free use of the JetBrains. All the stuff for about 4 or 5 years. They've now tightened up their policies and said that because we're an official charity and we receive sponsorship and funding and so on, they will offer us a 50% discount. I'm trying to work out, ask them what's the cost, and then they're saying what product do you want and how many I always have exactly the same thing with Adobe. Whenever I'm trying to say what's your non-profit rate, and they say how many users do you want using it, and it's kind of I don't know. It depends how much it will cost, and we get into these funny conversations. But Michael made a good suggestion. Maybe we just try and pass on the discount to the members. I think the difficulty there, Michael, slightly is that from JetBrains' point of view, they kind of want to know how many team members do you have that need to use it, and then they'll offer us a costing on a kind of a batch thing for that. They're not. I don't think they want us to operate as a kind of a reseller thing where we then give 50% discount on lots of individual licenses, if you know what I mean.
Right.
They have given us a 1-month extension in which to work out all of the individual details, and I need to share that. Probably I should do that in the professional development channel for anybody who needs that. There's a few people who want it. So yeah, but so. It's a bit of. I mean, it also makes me wonder: should we switch to, like you say, Michael, Atom or Visual Code, Visual Studio Code, or what have you? Something to work out. I guess, Michael, Joao, do you use the JetBrains license at all?
I've used it, yeah, but I mean, I've kind of increasingly. I use it when I develop Rails sometimes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I increasingly don't really use the necessarily Rails specific functionality, except maybe the one killer thing is the click through on the step to see the definition.
Yeah, that's the same for me. Yeah.
But I think there's other plugins and stuff and other frameworks that do that.
Yeah.
I know Marion has it in Vim.
Oh, really?
But Vim's a whole nother fish, so.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking if there was a good add-on for Sublime that would do that, then that would be good for me.
Yeah, I don't use the professional license except for on work for IntelliJ, and basically I've been developing Rails on Visual Studio Code.
Oh, really?
It's fine. You don't get all the shiny things, but personally I don't think it's hard to get it even on Rails when you're using IntelliJ. Sorry, the RubyMine.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it is a strong typed language, yeah, I totally use JetBrains stuff. If it's not, it's just more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what? One thing, if we need to give numbers to JetBrains and stuff, we can always just ask for a number of licenses for the number of paid members that we have, and we just
Yeah.
get those. And eventually, I'm not sure like how can we renew that, but like every 6 months we can eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it comes down to like what I think their monthly cost is something like about $30 a month, and then a 50% discount would be like $15 a month. And then it's like, then basically it's like not at all cost. Like basically we are just being charged for exactly the amount of the premium member. So then we would have to like maybe make it so that only premium mob members or premium face-to-face members had access to the it would have to become like a higher tier thing. Anyway, yeah, I better run. You know, we can chat further about that in AV Community Talk. I keep updating things there, and but yeah, maybe I'll see you on Thursday, Joao, for a Met Plus meeting.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice evening.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Good to see you, Michael. Bye for now.
Bye.